Hello, everyone. Economic Ninja here. There is a dire warning that a SpaceX engineer and Elon Musk is pushing out about what is happening down in North Carolina at the horrific site of the hurricane, the floods that have devastated that part of the country. When average citizens and companies are trying to help, they are being blocked, halted by the government. Biden's FEMA is blocking aid to the scene. Now, I want to talk about that before I dive into it. I want to remind you that today at 11 a.m. Pacific time, a very important email is going out to all of my subscribers that are signed up on the newsletter. The link is down below if you want to sign up. It's free. All that does is once a day, it gives you a synopsis of what's going on in the world, a link to all the videos I put out, because I was stopped on this platform a little over a year ago because I put out a very serious warning, in my opinion, about something tragic that was coming to the nation and the world. And almost exactly a year to the day that video went viral, and was halted, it has now come to pass. It has now started. And it is not a joke. It could turn into nothing, but it looks like it is something that is set, like I said in the video over a year ago, to happen right before the election. And I want everyone to watch it. You'll see when the email comes out why I had to share it this way, where I cannot share it on this platform. I'm going to show you proof of what happened to this channel. So let's dive in right now. SpaceX engineer in North Carolina has a dire warning for the Biden-Harris FEMA actively blocking shipments for relief. This story is out of Zero Hedge. It says a shocking firsthand account from a SpaceX engineer in storm-battered North Carolina reveals that Biden-Harris Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, is blocking shipments of critical goods for relief efforts into that region. There have been numerous reports this week of FEMA actively hindering relief efforts in the western part of the state, including threatening private helicopter pilots with arrest for conducting rescue missions. We also learned that the Biden-Harris administration drained FEMA funds to support illegal aliens, prioritizing non-citizens or future voters over American citizens. Now, let me stop and tell you that as having 26 years experience, 23 of them being full-time in the fire service in California, not only being a firefighter in my own station, but working on emergency management teams, type 3, type 2, and type 1 teams. And I served in all kinds of different positions. My latest position I served was a safety officer of a type 3 team, which is part of the command staff. Now, let me explain first that when we have a large-scale incident, we usually close off airspace. If we have a large incident, we want to prioritize our rescue efforts and things like that. All right. The last thing, I have never seen it, private pilots flying in missions on a large scale incident where they're not coordinating with the government. Okay. Because that could cause accidents. So let me say that first and foremost. But let me also tell you what I believe as an American right now. I honestly believe there are a lot of Americans that are waking up to the fact that this government, this administration, does not have Americans' best interests at heart. When I'm referring to Americans, I'm referring to people that are here legally, whether they are born here or they came here from another country and they are working through the process of becoming a citizen. They are paying taxes. They are applying for jobs. They were not grabbed out of another country, sent here, or funneled over a border illegally, given a phone, given clothes, given insurance benefits, given a debit card with money stacked on it. Okay, so let's make that really clear. I believe there are a lot of people that understand that this administration is not actively doing a good job. All right, type 1 if you agree with that. Let's fire up the algo. So it says here, around lunchtime, Elon Musk shared a dire message from one of his SpaceX engineers on the ground in the storm-ravaged state. Musk said FEMA is not merely failing to adequately help people in trouble, but is actively blocking citizens who try to help. Musk shared a dire warning from one of his engineers on the ground. Now, here's the warning. Hey, Elon, update here on site from... Let me stop also and say this. I also understand people's desire to help. On large-scale incidents, we always had people bringing food for us being firefighters and support staff. We saw people, setting up food pantries, emergency, baked, not like baked goods set up on tables for people that were being evacuated. Hey, come here, or the rescue shelter that we would set up as an emergency. That was part of my job. In some incidents, I would have to run around and find places, gymnasiums and things, and sign contracts, write them immediately. That's a whole nother story. When you see people giving up their ranch land, oh yeah, you could put the tents up here for the fire engines, the firefighters to stay, or for this shelter for the people that are being displaced. Just they are honestly being paid tens of thousands of dollars per day for the use of their land. I actually was involved in writing a lot of those contracts. Okay, that's actually how it works. So there are a lot of people that you think are doing things out of the goodness of their heart that actually aren't. Now, that could fire up a lot of people because I understand the need and desire to help people, right? Out of the goodness of your heart. But there are also companies that want to profiteer off this. They want to make the headlines. They want to be all excited and get in front of your face, like, look at all this stuff. When in all reality, it comes down to a massive advertisement. Okay? So I want to make things very clear because I can see two completely different sides of this equation, which I understand both sides, but you also have to look at what's going on here. Okay? I still think the Biden's administration is total crap, though. Type 2 if you agree with that. So here's the warning. Hey, Elon, update here on site of Asheville, North Carolina. We have powered up 2 large operating bases for choppers to deliver goods into hands. We've deployed over 300 plus Starlinks to an outpour. It has saved many lives. The big issue is FEMA is actively blocking shipments and seizing goods and services locally and locking them away to state they are their own. Okay, now this is very important, a very important warning, okay, because this is easy to capture on video. All right, so I really hope there are people from SpaceX watching. Maybe even Elon will fire up. So let's hashtag Musk or Elon or whatever. Here we go. It is very real and scary how much they have taken control to stop people from helping. We are blocked now on the shipments of new Starlinks coming in until we get an escort from the fire department, but that may not be enough. All right, let's stop here. First off, if you are making an accusation like that, I want to see video, right? I think we all would agree. If you agree with that, type yes. Also, it's very easy to capture a video like that. And I will say, I do understand. I've been on emergency scenes where there are people that abuse their power and authority. 100%. I 100% agree with that. So capture it on footage. And I'm going to be honest with you. Usually that happens at the highest levels of the management team. All right. This is just me straight up calling it out. When we're talking about government agencies like FEMA, they think their crap don't stink. And I can guarantee you there are probably some people watching from FEMA at the lower ends are going, I know what he's talking about. But this is anywhere in the government, okay? The government's getting way too big. This is not what our founding fathers intended. If you agree with that, oh my gosh, please share this video. All right, now, the story goes on to show a post from Elon showing this SpaceX engineers warning. And then he goes on, and remember, these are getting millions and millions of views, right? Not like this channel anymore because of what I warned about a year ago. Again, if you want to check that out, sign up for the newsletter. The email with the video goes out, and I cannot share it here. I'm going to show you proof of why I can't and what happened to me a year ago. And now a week ago, it has started, and it is not a joke. But these are getting lots of views, right? We're getting all kinds of stuff. You've got government officials. And the really cool thing about what Elon Musk has done is through buying a media outlet, he has so much more of a voice. It's insane. So what's really cool is that he can bring light to a bunch of issues. I just want to see video. If the SpaceX engineers can start just miking up and throwing some cameras in there, the phone fits in the pocket, those nerd pockets. Says here, this is a quote. Sorry, radio transmissions from first responders in Mecklenburg County provided firsthand accounts of the government blocking relief efforts by private citizens. And this is disturbing. And they actually, on broadcastify.com, they actually have videos of the FEMA blocking civilians from helping, right? Now, I could see the point of FEMA going, hey, we cannot allow you down certain roads. I've done this many times before because it is hazardous, it's dangerous, like on fires. A tree can fall on you. We've had trees fall on our firefighters on the same incident. I actually had this problem where citizens are getting angry because roads are closed. I'm the third in command of a Type 3 incident in Yosemite that just killed a firefighter because a tree fell on him and killed him. And I'm having to tell a citizen, without going into that, why that road is blocked, because there are so many hazard trees and we only have so many sawyers to be able to get down that road to drop those hazard trees so that we could reopen the road safely. Because, and this is how it works in the real world, if that citizen goes down there and I've closed the road and he gets killed or hurt, guess who gets the bill? The government. And that is actually how it works. Okay, so in that instance, that is why a lot of these cases could be blocked. But there's a big difference between FEMA blocking somebody for a legitimate reason that has aid and wants to help, right? Or a pilot and going, hey, I just want to fly around in your airspace and drop off stuff. Well, you know, what if you hit one of our aircraft? Because we've got active aircraft in the area doing reconnaissance, rescue missions, supply drops for not only the civilians, but responders, because they need equipment too, and supplies and food and water and things like that. But the thing is, why don't you get some video? So far, I haven't seen any video. All right. In a world where we have amazing video and audio capabilities that we can grab, this should be a priority. Now, it says Americans quickly understood by the end of the week the big theme in Biden-Harris botched hurricane response efforts, very similar to the dismal response in East Palestine, Ohio. Completely agree with that. As explained by the Bishop of Mises Institute, this horrific natural disaster is a reminder of the extent to which the regime hates the people who live there. All right, so here is the problem, and this is a very sincere statement and a question to you. Do you understand my point that there is a lot of emotional ramp up, right versus left right now, right? And the media and corporations and even YouTubers, even social media people are trying to grab onto that for views, for, you know, and they're trying to grab onto that. But there is a side to both sides. So here's the only way that you stop it. You go get video and audio, like actual, like, oh my gosh, that actually happened. And sitting there and telling people, hey, they're blocking us. Well, that's actually what emergency responders do, whether it be police, fire, EMS. When there is a severe incident, the first thing we do is cordon off the area and stop people from coming in and taking photos, disturbing a crime scene, hindering responders from an emergency response, and all on top of that, blanketing safety for both the public, the civilians, the victims involved, and the responders. That is 100%. And the thing is stories like this that are getting millions and millions, I mean, if tens of millions of views right now, and that's going to demonize the amazing men and women right now, the first responders that are helping, and the volunteers that help in conjunction with the command center. They're going to demonize those first responders, and that's not what I want to see. So the first thing my message is to everyone, and type yes if you agree, if you're going to come out and talk about this and accuse these things, go get video. Now, talking about video, I have a very important video that I'm sharing out on that email. It's very important. You'll see, you know what I mean when I can't share it here because of what happened a little over a year ago. I warned the world about something that was coming. It has now been released. It is now started, and it is growing fast. It started a little bit under a week ago, and I have a bunch of information to share with you. If you want to see it, the email goes out at 11 a.m. Pacific time. The Economic Ninja newsletter is down below. I only send out one email a day, and all it is, other than this very important one, is what's going on, what I'm seeing, what I'm doing, and a list of all the videos. You could either click on it and watch it, or you can just disregard it. But that's why I set this up, because of what YouTube did to me a year ago. Hope you got something out of this. Thank you so much for watching. Economic Ninja out.